What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another VV Vision video. Today, I'm going to be talking about the drop aftermath for the serial killers. I'm also going to touch on low mint and scarcity versus, big IP, high mint type of stuff. And then I'll end talking about some Q, the new Q system that might be implemented pretty soon. This is a solo video. Carter couldn't make it today, so that's sad, but hopefully we'll see him tomorrow. Get back to the duo videos soon. But yeah, I FaceTimed him and Mans wasn't doing too hot. So hopefully he's feeling better. But yeah, I want to start by thanking the subs and the donators. Thank you guys so much for all the support. 3.73K, crazy growth. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. And also, if you're interested in entering this giveaway right here, we do have shout out to Utopia or Dollar Shave Club. They donated a common Steamboat Willie collectible right there, which can be seen in the thumbnail, and the instructions for how to enter that giveaway are in that video. We should be drawing that, I think, tomorrow, or we might wait. You guys might be lucky and get a little extended period, because I'm guessing Carter and I will do that together. So yeah, go enter that giveaway. But yeah, let's get right into the drop aftermath. We had the Ron English last fat breakfast here. This poster had 1959 mints. It was $100 on list. And yeah, overall, I'm still confused. I need to tweet at Ron English and see why Honey Butt the Obese is missing from this. But overall, checking the market, it started out, I don't know exactly where it started out, but I think it was like in the 200s. It rose up to like 350, dropped back down to like 200. Now I saw that it was on the rise again. It's currently sitting at 320 or like 324, which surprises me. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but in general, I'm a little confused on why the poster is doing, I don't know, has a higher floor price right now compared to the ultra rare collectibles. I can understand some arguments for both, but in general, I'm just the collectible has like 100 less mints. And I think the highest or the oldest, the series one, Count Chocula, I think is sitting roughly around the same price as this poster, which surprised me a little bit. I expected this poster to fall a little under some of those and closer to maybe the ultra rare price of some of the series 2 or 3 ultra rares, but we got a little surprise today. I have a feeling this is like the shiny object effect or whatever, and just people hyping up this new drop. I'm guessing this will kind of die down a little bit over the next week or so, just because I feel like that's what typically happens with these drops. But yeah, I love this overall. I don't think I'll be picking it up in the 300s. I'll probably wait to pick it up if it falls under 200 or something like that, because I do like this. I love the serial killers. You guys know me, but yeah, it just seems a little high for me right now. I don't have much money to spend. And yeah, if I was going to spend that much, I think I'd go with the collectible over the poster, although this poster is beautiful. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you got any of these. I actually missed the drop today. I forgot to mention Carter and I, Carter didn't tell me. I don't think he got a drop, but yeah, my time was off on my phone for some reason. And so I was like doing my kind of pre-drop like ritual of like, I turn my phone off, turn it back on. I like clean it and stuff. And then I like clean the background app space, or I don't even know what that really does, but it's worked for me for the most part. So yeah, I like did some of that and then realized it was past, 8 a.m. PT or whatever. So that was kind of tough, but no big deal. That was my fault. But yeah, let me know how you guys feel about this drop now that it's out. If you got it on drop and if you're planning on holding or selling or what your plan is, because I'd be interested to know. But yeah, moving on from that, I do want to touch on, because we had these, this drop and the Spider-Man drop, the 252 Spider-Man, the first appearance of the black like pre-Venom suit. I want to touch on like low mint and scarcity versus high mint and maybe larger IP, but mainly just low mint versus high mint, because I feel like, I don't know, I've seen a lot of arguments and I just kind of wanted to touch on it quick and give a quick little like 2 cents. But overall, I feel like people tend to favor the like big brand major IP, like we've seen, like Disney, the Steamboat Willie, which I know is Disney as well, but Marvel, Disney, Batman to some extent, but I still feel like the DC stuff is a little more slept on compared to the Disney and Marvel stuff. Um, and a lot of that stuff can have really high mintage. And then things like this comic I've seen like getting flack for how low mint it was. And then even like the serial killers and stuff. Um, and so I don't know. In general, I feel like they will eventually even out. It's really hard to tell where this is going because this is like a whole new field of like technology and collectibles and all of that. But in general, I feel like we will eventually see a movement slightly away from just focusing on IP and considering rarity and scarcity a little bit more, because I think the exclusivity of the ownership for some of those scarce pieces is a really big deal that I feel like is getting looked over a lot of the time. Because yeah, this might not be like, I understand the argument of, this shouldn't be like 26,000 or whatever because you can buy a Marvel comic #1 with it or whatever. But this is like a new field in general or whatever. And just, there's so much new technology, so many like new developments coming out that I think that eventually we'll see things like this retain some of that value. We've seen the more scarce comics in the past kind of trickle down, but in general, I feel like as we move towards the future, as we get more users, more people willing to shell out a little more money for some of this stuff, I do think this scarcity is going to be important, because the fact that, like Steamboat Mickey, for example, you can have like what, like 6,000 owners of the ultra rare, and that you're investing in that IP, that license, the authentic or the like iconic aspects of it and kind of the history of that piece. Whereas the ownership of something like Donnie, you have like what, 200 or 150 mints. And so even though that Donnie IP comes nowhere near, like not even close to the Steamboat Willie, I still think over time that exclusivity of ownership is going to be a big deal. And I can see it retaining some value. I know Donnie might be overvalued to a lot of people right now, but I think in the long term, a 1 of 150 pieces or whatever, I really think that'll retain some value. And yeah, we could see some 1 of 1s in the future. We could see other low mint collectibles dropped and stuff like that. But I do think that over time, those will retain some value due to that scarcity. And I think eventually we'll see a little competition between the scarcity and the big IP. Whereas right now, I feel like scarcity is more slept on and the IP is kind of favored. But that's something I'm really interested to see, like with the Dragon Girls, the ultra rare Dunny, things like that, that aren't large IP. They have some really cool art going on for them, and considerably low mint. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this in terms of low mint versus the high mint, and then like IP versus independent artists, stuff like that. This is something that I just really keep coming back to, and I'd love to know what you guys think about it because it's really interesting. And I don't know. I just want to know where things are going to go in the future. It's impossible to tell, but yeah, I'm really interested to see. So let me know what you guys think about low mint versus scarcity, or low mint and scarcity versus high mint and like large IP, stuff like that. I do want to end just talking about the queue system, just because we are ending this year. I don't think there's been any new news released for any new drops. So I think this last fat breakfast is the final drop of the year. I don't know, maybe there'll be a surprise. Who knows? Maybe New Year's will have a surprise. But yeah, overall, this is the last drop. That being said, Veve said their official launch, or David, you said Veve's official launch will be in 2022. And we've also heard things about the new queue system being implemented soon. I'm guessing that will happen, next year, 2022. We don't really know when, I don't think, but I think it will be pretty soon. I have a couple things I want to touch on. In general, Carter and I were talking about, do we want the queue system? In general, I think long term, as we get more people, I'll want it. As of right now, I'm kind of on the fence because I feel like I'm able to, like, my experience in the app and like kind of the tips and tricks for how to like click fast and stuff, give me a slight advantage. And so I like that advantage a little bit over some new users who might be clicking like a second too late. And but yeah, Carter in general seems to be in favor of it. I will also be in favor of it like really soon. It's getting really difficult to get these. And so yeah, in general, we're both in favor of it. But some things that I guess to consider with this coming out is it should give everybody a better chance, ideally, as we get more users. The only thing I'm wondering is I feel like okay, so doing the queue system, it could open up the opportunity for bots to have a easier chance at getting a drop if you just because we've seen pictures of like 30 phones or whatever being used on a drop. And so one of my concerns is like, okay, if we have a queue system where click speed doesn't even matter, and that's what the bots kind of utilize to get drops, then couldn't those people with 30 phones just enter the queue on all 30 phones? I know it'd be kind of I really don't actually think it would be difficult because they could either have the bot program to do that, or they could probably just manually on 30 phones click it in the queue time. So I don't know. I'm interested to see how that happens. I think they will reduce the number of bots with the queue system by implementing Know Your Customer or KYC prior to the queue system implementation. And so what I'm thinking with that is in order to have KYC, I don't think they would just implement it for the queue system. I feel like they would maybe do MTL first and have the KYC be something you do for MTL, and then they drop the queue system after. But I could be wrong. I really don't know. This is all speculation. But yeah, in general, I think that's pretty much all we had to talk about. I mean, Carter, I did want to mention something that Carter was thinking, and in terms of these like really scarce last two drops of the year, Carter was thinking that was kind of strategic to get uh, people a little more excited for a queue system, to give people an idea of like how difficult it would be if we keep this, classic drop system or whatever in Veve as we continue to grow. So I definitely understand that and I agree with it. And I think it's possible. But from what I've been hearing, I think Veve, or at least like even an employee at Veve, I think Reverend Alex was saying that he didn't agree with the 252 Spider-Man comic drop, which I'll pull up again quick just so we can kind of see what I'm talking about. But this had 1,000 mints. There's a lot of controversy over it because it's not a grail and it's not really a key either, but they decided to make it one of the rarest, well, the rarest comic in the app. So uh overall, I think what happened is Marvel may have called the shots with this one, and I think we'll see more pushback in the future from Veve when it comes to something like this, just because the community, a lot of the community, from what I've heard, doesn't seem to really like the fact that they just dropped this, kind of random Spider-Man comic with the first appearance of this like black suit that eventually becomes Venom as one of the most rarest, because it's not like a grail or a key in the real world. And so although I like that it adds an interesting dynamic, I'm interested to see just what happens in the future. And I am also interested to learn more about what actually happened behind this drop, and if it was Marvel kind of pushing Veve or calling the shots a little more, and Veve had to kind of be on standby and just watch it happen. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this overall. I don't know, just some interesting topics. I'm interested to see the queue system when it comes out and how that works, and if we'll have any issues with that or just things in general. So yeah, let me know what you think of, the whole mint thing I talked about and rarity, and let me know what you think about the queue system implementation and how that might go, because I think NFT Jeremy has a video kind of detailing what that might look like if you guys want to have an idea of what a queue system might be like. So yeah, check that out if you haven't seen that. And I think that's all I have. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for all the support. And if you liked the video, leave a like. If you disliked or didn't like it, leave a dislike. We appreciate the feedback. If you want to leave a comment, I'd appreciate it, like reading through them and responding. And then if you want to see more content like this, go ahead and subscribe. But yeah, thank you guys so much. If you have any video ideas, please let us know. Carter and I are open to that. I haven't seen any in the comments recently from our recent videos. So yeah, if you have any video ideas, let us know. We'll get to those. We will be doing a new series on like a few OpenSea projects and other projects that aren't Veve, just to kind of explore other NFT like opportunities basically, and just to kind of get a better perspective, because I mean, we've kind of been in this niche of Veve, and so we think it's a decent idea to kind of, get some more exposure, see what else is out there, and kind of compare it to Veve and just see what's out there really. So yeah, thank you so much for all the support. We'll see you in the next video. This is Veve Vision signing out. Thank you so much.